Bonjour, merci beaucoup, karibu sana, muri bwanji, bwino, zabwino. Welcome to the Simuka Sketch Show, episode number 6. My name is Doc Vikela, I'm your host, and today I'm in a whole new vibe of saying, Maburiza, Agandi, Agabato, Nimota Yakuba, Vakando Mangaro. Vakando zimangarira kune vamwe vavo ayuwi chamboko ayuwi achasunungurwa chete nekuti mumwe. Today on the sketch show we are focusing on not crispen ana crispen avashandisa muta dzekuba kirisipeni mutsengi kozotangana K in RI kiri si penny mutsengi, who is the officer commanding CID vehicle theft squad. Yeah, chef ndeve kuzotherapy vano ndo commander vepasakaton branch vano make sure kuti mota dzakabiwa dzadzorerwa kana wakamubirwa mota pamawani because commanding officer commanding wacho vakatora mota yanga yabiwa kuTaliban. Okay, it's not like vakanoiba kuTaliban, no. So the story is there was a car, you know the chi guys, a BT50. A BT50 was stolen in Durban kubva kuna XA. Ndova yasvika kunana Matsanga pamoza. Matsanga ndova irwa, ndova yakunzwa kunoko. Sa mota yaichwa inoti kunoko ndobva yabatwa paborder kune mapanda. Iye mapanda nditi. Vayabatwa mota yayo ndobva yanzi yabatwa. Southerton is very swift. Vamhanya vakanotora mota yayo vaisachi vane maunochengetera mota dzabatwa dzakabiwa. Saka anza kumana varikutora mota vachimhanya nadzo. So is it to be luck ran out about accident on the 14th of February. I mean, the most like interesting thing here on the story is that the car was extensively damaged on the 14th of February, and I'm hoping that the contents of the car did not cause extensive damage to his marriage, because if he was with other goods that would cause extensive outermost haranguing of his most prized possession, then there will be a problem. But the issue is, there has been reports of more cars stolen being misused. So if you ever see a policeman in a nice car, varikujamba mota dziri dzavo makomba aya arudzi ndiye mapurisa aya arikuda kari makomba ari kuviwa paTekwina kana paPE onana Matsanga pamoza vomagarira. In the studio we are in luck today. We managed to interview a young lady who was an occupant, or not in occupant, who was a passenger in the car. I do Pashago Bindura, Angamotakurach, don't know same direction, and then of Motaya Sangan and Jones. So please let me welcome this unfortunate, fortunate to be sitting in this fortunate young lady who unfortunately was involved in an accident, sitting in a BT50. Durban finest. Okay, that's wrong. The car was stolen from Durban, so Durban, okay, we're going to welcome the young lady to the studio. Like I said earlier on, we welcome into the studio the young girl, the young lady who was a passenger in the vehicle, officer, crasher. Can you help me understand and explain what my circumstances around the accident and so forth?
Like, first of all, zvekuti officer vakaba izvi ndezvokunyeba nekuti tikudhila ne-estate property kana police officer is a state property, and the state property in the other, you know, she knows exchange of position. So as you can see, moteka about South Africa, I don't believe in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is Mbuti Magabiro and I. We're now Mozambique. We're second change my position. It's a citizenship whatever, you know, and the multi-generational course, yeah, something like that. So unfortunately, Tijifamba was to celebrate a really unique Valentine is, you can see I'm still wearing my Valentine top. Kubva musi wa14 January kusvika 24 February. But I to extend kuti ndainyanya kuvafadza. I mean kuvanakidza. You get you understand. So he's actually a good person. So I can't wait to go to Mona. I can't wait. But anyways, more time now be towards the change. I test sheets and this a road test. So I think I should do my comfort. At road test.
So I'm talking about you want road change. I'm not going to
tutokwira dzakawanda kana maland cruiser atikwire kuti maona fituti maland cruiser majeep a lot fanike ka BT50 club ka zvadaitonzwa ndirimomo ka nezvadaita tirimomo handingambotadze kudhumira but anyways Abi is a nice person everywhere, inside and outside.
Okay. I think we have got enough there. Okay. Thank you.
No kwaniso kana mane one time muno yamchinitora. Kufaradzwa.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Unonami ai baba. Ungari kuviva. Ai. Nonami ai baba. Moving on, that was local news and nzvere mandara mandara accident. The young lady spoke for herself. Moving on to international news. Joyamba dzinalanga nditokufikela sindiriziva kuti vasari pasa ni fair or vasari pasa ni zvina favor. Moving on to Zambia, where we are going to be looking at the violence that has rocked Zambia during the election of the 12th of August, where HH versus Lungu waipuzi utshwala vanorowa bhiya zvekudaro apa HH zvauchi vane bhegi nemombe dzavo. So the story has it that youths demanded that they would wait on polling stations kama zvasadaidzirwa ndokuona kuti zvavo vane masoja asingarovi zvinorwadza. So the issue of rigging is everywhere, and the youths in Zambia said no, isusu hatisi kuzobvera tabva mapurisi svika mavhotsi ese averengwa tavakuona achiverengwa. I'm like tingazviitawo kunoku. God is in it. But the issue is now with the Zambian scenario is that the most sad part is that these young people have been pushing this movement for a long time now, where they're saying they want change. But the person they are calling change is as old as the current president. What change are you talking about? It's like saying your twin brother is better than, we never know. But it's the change that might happen. So apparently they shut down the internet, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. But lucky enough, the Zambian youths had their small friends to tell them about VPNs. And in no time, they were back in line. But I'm just saying to my Zambian compatriots, if you need notes in terms of dealing with this corruption, that is, it's a systematic corruption in Africa, where elections are rigged and internets are shut down, the army is deployed. I'm not saying anything about Zimbabwe, I'm just saying. And a lot of things happen. Intra-party violence. So I'm just saying, if you want notes of how to... No, not to defend the vote, no, because we have no experience in that. You want notes in how to beat those that want to defend their vote. If what you want to do, so in light of all this crazy stuff that's happening, we managed to cross over to our international correspondent in deep heart of Zambia, Aripamoyo, Zambia. We wanted to hear what's happening, so we crossed over for the first time ever on the sketch show. Truita gwalangwa, gwalishto, isusu, ewe, babongo, Zambia, fototo. So we cross over to Zambia to hear from our field correspondent to tell us more about what's happening in Lusaka. Okay, not in Lusaka, in Zambia. Copper belt.
And most of the people who turned up to vote were the youths, because the youths have been hungry and angry at the same time. Yeah. So whatever was going on was being monitored both by the youths and the keepers of the law. I mean, the protectors of the law, the police officers. So the youths were both on the queue and also eyes looking everywhere, monitoring. Basically, the violence that's going on is because of rumors that people are stealing ballot papers. People want to rig and everything. Zambians have refused. If you're suspected of rigging, you'll be beaten up. If you die, you die. If you're suspected of stealing ballot papers or doing anything cunning, you'll be beaten up. So the thing is that in a certain constituency, there was some man under the ruling government who was carrying some ballot papers, boxes, whatever, in his vehicle. So people saw him, and that's how he got attacked. His car was burnt, and he was beaten up until to the point of death. And I hear the police officers couldn't do much because the mob was bigger than their manpower. Oh, I don't know. Maybe the police officers also want change. So it's a draw thing. Might never know. Maybe the police officers were in support and then pretended to have less manpower and allowed the mob to deal with the issue. Or they were also scared to say if they protect the person who was caught in the position of stealing the ballot papers, they will also be beaten up because nobody feared a gun. At this point, nobody's scared of a gun. Nobody's scared of the police uniform or the soldiers' uniform or whatever. Nobody, especially the youths, like they're on it. Most of the youths have slept at polling stations to monitor the counting of the votes. And also the other issue is that there was also a plane that was suspected to have carried some ballot papers that was moving from, I don't know which town, but to Chingola. There is a town called Chingola, so it was being suspected. Now, before we could get more information about it, internet was cut off. But as usual, the youths were already prepared for anything. So that's how we are told to download Thunder VPN, Thunder Master, and everything. And we are back online to check whatever was going on. So, including the people who are supporting the ruling government, were also using the Thunder VPN. But they were in support that the internet should be cut off. So, they were also benefiting from that, which was very surprising, and we laughed about it. And they were planning to cut power. That's how people bought torches, lights and everything, and they were on in advance so that when power cuts, there's already power. So, yeah. So there was power. So power was being powered by the lights, by the torches, by the candles, by the what, such things. Like people are ready for anything. Monitoring, the youths have been like soldiers, monitoring, making sure to check whosoever comes in and whosoever leaves. Each and every car that will come near the polling station was being searched, not in a violent way, but in a good way. The violence was only coming in if a person was seen carrying ballot papers outside, taking them out the polling stations, and also if the person was being suspected of rigging or trying to manipulate the votes and everything. Yeah, basically that. As it stands right now, most of the ministers and most of the people who stood under the ticket of the ruling government are losing. So it's like people are already optimistic that the other party, which is UPND under Hakainde Hichilema, will emerge the winner, and that's what the people want. That's what most of us want. That's what I queued for, man. Yes, that's what I queued for. I stayed on the queue for 8 hours. And yeah, I want change. Yeah.
Thank you, a big thank you to Vicky, our international correspondent, giving us detailed information about what's happening in Zambia. We'll catch up with you later on. We move on to sports news. If you're not careful, because Moving on, we go on to Tanzania. Karibu sana. We are traveling these days. We have got a diplomatic passport. Kana wakaipiwa pa Poland go isusu tisana ntine mabubu ya cho. So the Interior Minister of Tanzania has said that they have put into law that a couple without a marriage certificate can now cheat freely. Okay, according to them, it's not even cheating. A couple without a marriage certificate are like two people that are just enjoying mjolo. So in Tanzania, they have just taken the mjolo to a whole new level. Mjolo to a whole new level. So now the issue is, those without a marriage certificate, if you say that you are married to this person and you don't have a certificate, and you want to go say you are cheating, you can be arrested for going to a person to say that you are cheating with my person. Because even if you have stayed together for 5 years, or 10 years, or 20 years with children, even your children have got beards, and you're old, like 70 something, you can be sued by the state because you'll be disturbing people that are majolarizing. So I think that, I don't know, I mean, the minister said that you cannot claim that a prostitute is cheating. Guys, whoa, Glenview, Wanda Timiro, Budiriro, Noton, Sakuba Mtari, Nimakoko, Nilofefe, Nipumula. Guys, let me just say this to you. If you don't have a marriage certificate, we are chola. Agula intonje. Yeah, we are chola. Mavuvu, we are chola. Jo, mavuvu. So our local mjolo, senior correspondent, managed to catch up with the local couple to understand more about this law that we are saying. Please bring it here. Bring it. Bring it here. Bring it. And I think if this had happened during the days of Pokelo and Stana and Anzani, Madavini, na Olind. I mean, Olind ain't mharapatsetsetse, but Papa angasatane license has no certificate. Stana ain't go. So they were prostituting. I'm not saying it, the Interior Minister is saying it. So we cross over to our local mjolo senior correspondent.
Thank you, Doc Fikela. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tondo. They have been traditionally married. How are you, ma'am and sir? Following Tanzania news, if you're a couple without a marriage certificate, you are free to cheat. How do you see it as a local Zimbabwean couple? Munozona say baba.
Ai hapana kuti free to cheat. Murume unonge uchida kuti abarika saka munhu anga achida kuripota. Vakadzi manje vakubvumidza barika zvakamboitika kupi isusu pachivanhu chedu. Zvakamboitika kupi?
Kuti chi? Barika kuita sei kwacho? Enda unobvisa nzamombe dzekumba kwedu uite zvetiite zvemarriage certificate uko. Mbwe kuita
zvikutaura kuzvizvikira ngamubvunzo.
Bvunzo chi? Uri kuti hanzoni ukubvunza vanhu vasina ku.
Imbomira iwe.
Mira chi chaunondimisa chi. Ena pedzisa kubvisa mombe kwedu.
Mira uite mushe ufamba kapeka. Ndakakupedza namo tenga ringi.
Pedza namo kuti aseko. Ndicho chose mukadzi pa vanhu. Bvumidzwa kuchita uchita barika.
Une ndebvu here udaita kunge murume. Une ndebvu. Auite kunge mukadzi. Une ndebvu here.
Ndebvu dzedi dzacho.
Ringi ndoenda kunge mukadzi.
Tinounganidzwa vanhu pamuchato pedu zvo. Vana vedu vanzwa vanhu vakabuka.
Saka ini sina ringi ndikuita kunge mukadzi. Ukwane kayo unopenga here. Indada kunyadzisa pavanhu iwe.
Aputseke mombe kumba kwenda unopedza kana kubvisa pa.
Dzini ndega muZimbabwe ndisina kubvisa mombe. Dzinoshamisira chimombe. Dzichauya unopenga kuhura kuita sei.
Kuhura kuita sei kwacho kuhura usakuda kundityisidzira nero rudhishi rwangu rwakandakatenga futi nemari yangu.
Chinoshamisira.
Unonyangadza iwewe. Anobvisa mombe kwedu. Usanibate.
Aputseke.
Right. We are thankful that this law is not yet in Zimbabwe. Because Zimbabwe, even ana VP, so up to now. Doc Fikela, back to you.
Sorry, Zvenyu, what I want to say is hamtemo muZimbabwe ukangobvumidzwa zvavo unenge uri bwandi. But chikunetsa nje kuti wanyanyira kwakadzi. Ukauya kuvarume bhozi barika rinobvumidzwa ndokuti barika.
I think let's go, guys. Let's go. Doc Fikela, back to you.
There you had it from our senior Mjolo correspondent who was getting more detail. But let me just say this. Ukazviita kumfakoze unonamiye ipapapa kwaragoneti unonamiye ipapapa wati vanze prostitution iwe ukaziva kwaifridzi kunzwi kucherima unonamiye ipapa kana pambare mumajubeki unonamiye ipapa sikumaterini unonamiye ipapa nama Ndugu. Moving on to the commercial break, to those that pay the rent. There are those people that are so generous that they pay the rent without them even knowing about it. But these days, some of them know. They do it intentionally because we need them to pay the rent. We cross over to the commercial break. I think Simuka Marangi, it's real serious, and I stop with the rap. Because I think I'm going to go talk to Mom Simon. Because the impostor is not to remember the Mumpa saying, Papa, Namia, Papa.
Imadare minus too big, too much. I'm not saying, whenever Dick, I'm ny'any'a. That man is too much, man.
I think Timarangiga. And you go now, unazotara weTea and dog pupuze, but Shamukita Ashiko. I think dog mamis to put it Kachego. Was Yashiko. I'm not to Shagadar. I'm going to Muguna Mate Michire Pavan.
Right. Timarangi. Tambu, Tarisa shoda ndiji mukufarisa. Indakamira timu chajamuka. Ndakuya ndakumamisai amwomba bati nani odini mukuita sei murume mukuru uri kuitepa nani kutoshinyira ukwana ichi chokutema ndakatokuingirai stop rap tite zvinhu kwazvo andi.
Why would you ungru with a small bikini? This is a shame. Say no to rape, Timarangi. There are older people there out there. Now they ungru with a small bikini. Now they touch that small nyash. Now they ungru with it. Stop rape.
Pane murume ari kuchema tsitsi. Amai ndikuoneswa mwana wenyu ndamurora. Musaite zvekudhakwa imimi. Munoroteswa vana vadiki chete. Vana vari under 15 chete. Mhandara dziriko dzine ma 26. Sei vana vadiki muchiroteswa vana vadiki chete. Mukushota rumamiso. Kuona zvangu. Muda kuponcholetwa.
Ana zvimbwe tete, ana murembwa, ana zvimbwe titi. Basa rekubata vana vadiki, muone vakadzi vakura muvaone. Totofamba katakapfeka mabhurukwa netsono. Muzvibati. Mbwa dzevanhu.
Saka kunamata kwachona kuri papi papo. Kana munhu uchirara nemwana ane 9 years, old enough to be your child, this has to come to an end.
That was the commercial break. Moving on with the show, we go on to that segment that I warn you about every week. But with how the current is flowing, I feel like there's space in the weather. So, the weather. If you're not careful, you will think that she's serious. But if you are careful, you will think she's not serious. But the truth of the matter is, the weather.
Manera kanaka muri Zimbabwe tokushingamidza kuchirongwa the weather with the weather. Zambia rikutarisirwa kuti Zambia iri muZimbabwe kuti but Zambia rikutarisirwa kuti in fact iri kutopisa. Zambia rikutarisirwa in fact iri kutopisa nezvinhu zviri kutoitika izvo, so like chichikuitika nangunzwa mimi zviri kuitika izvozvo but kupisa katika lokumroti mbude lokumroti mbude andiri kuwandira nemaziso man aya pafeche uche
Ngaambotaura. Una director wabude ndinoda kuda sei.
Aiwa, ndisimbodirector, but at least 1 or 2 masauranga.
Tobuda sema director then.
Yeah. Manera akanaka muri Zimbabwe tokuchingamidzai kuchirongwa H the weather with H the weather. Zambia rinotarisirwa kunge ine infact itorine 39 degrees Celsius kuri kutopisa izvo, so nezvinhu zviri kuitika, but anyway for the government kuri kutotonhora zvekudaro need the current situation. Zambia iri muZimbabwe rikanga kutotara zvinhu zvisirizvo, and also muno muZimbabwe mukutarisirwa kuti muchange muchinaya throughout the whole season of summer. This is because of vanhu vekomaranga zvinhu zvari kuita zvinokonzeresa kuti mvura inaya. Like this is inenge yatoo climate change. In fact it's climate change iri kuitika because hakuna zvinhu zvakadaro. Ndizvo ndiyo weather yacho ndiyo, and ameno zviri kutaurwa zvekuti hanzi iji akapa mukadzi wake here gold medal. Ndezveweather iri kuti akapa mukadzi wake gold medal. Sure, hanzi akamupa gold medal izvo, so saka vanhu vari kukomplaina kuti hanzi anofanira kupiwa gold medal. But kana agona munhu andangopiwa medal, hazvina basa kuti akapiwa because akachimhanya here pa national inonzi chii. But anyway mbomirai kukomplaina kuti haisiyo weather guys. Munofanira kundipa weather chaicho so that ndotaura zvinhu zvine musoro kumberi kwevanhu. One izvo, so vanhu vanga kuti mwandopfeka ndisingapenga. Munofanira kunipa weather report yakakwana inenge yakanatsokunyorwa zvakanaka, because this is not weather. Anyway, Harare 16 degrees Celsius, Norton iri part of Shani. Marondera iri kutarisirwa kuti mangwana kuchamuka kuine
nautaurira ndikati kukwira gomo hupotera. Kuna vanhu asingatombopoteri kana kukwira gomo, anokaruka vatongokwira gomo. Saka ndizive kuti vamabasa aya Pane vanopoterera nemachero zvachakati kungopinda kungopinzwa. That was Aish, the weather. I'm saying Aish. I need to see your CV. Moving on with the show, we go on to give you that part of the show that you love a lot. My name is Doc Vikela, and I'll always be Doc Vikela. I want to say to my Zambian brothers and sisters, Shukriya. Shukriya. And aluta continua vanotaura kuti hanzi boveva takapiva mad people jeboro munorira makwapeni nunami baba. Moving on to the stock exchange, it's like hanzi 2023 election ikuya muZimbabwe, munhu achitongovaka achiisa maroads achiisa mabhana mafesa ake ozongobva nunami. Akusi kuAmerica kuna kuAfrica munhu anonami baba. Moving on, we go on to give you the stock exchange. That was me with you enjoying ourselves. Until next time. Munonami baba. Ngotaura ngokuti ngati ungangopuwa moto, ungangopuwa Benz usina zvawaita. Opuwa imwe Benz usina zvawaita. Munonami baba. Alright, munhu asikana brand ambassador webrand rako, munhu asikana influencer webrand rako, munhu ongopuwa Benz. Munonami baba. Hey, umsadaro. Plus, can I faster also? Pamukuraska and booty moku meta salive. Kana faster. You should not swallow your saliva. Until next time, my name is Doc Mikela. Shalom, love, peace, and light.
Welcome to the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. Economically, we are stuck. And my name is Sheikh Said, your financial analyst. Following Messi's transfer from Barcelona, his shirt sales alone accounted for 80% of all Barcelona jersey sales, which means Barcelona has lost about 258.7 million euros in annual revenue from his jersey sales alone. This has been a merciless challenge to Barcelona, literally. On the contrary, PSG sold 150,000 Messi jerseys in the first 7 minutes of his signing, and he had sold over 832,000 Messi jerseys by 24 hours of his signing, amounting to over 131.4 million euros as shown. Not only did Barcelona lose Messi, but they also lost their brand value, ticket sales, business revenue, with their total loss getting to over 274 million for the coming year. They were afraid of paying Messi 138 million euros per year, but now they have lost 274 million euros in just 2 weeks. What a stark moment. Despite PSG paying 764.4 million euros to Messi in a year, they have since gained over 24% Instagram followers in the first week of Messi's signing, from 38.7 million to 48 million followers as shown. What a merciful moment, literally, for PSG. This can only happen in Zimbabwe, probably if someone posts their nudes on their Instagram. Taking this home, considering we only have 2 sport teams in Zimbabwe, which are ZANU-PF and MDC, in the recent 2018 election cup held between the 2 teams, ZANU-PF had 2.4 million votes, with MDC having 2.1 million votes. If ZANU-PF's Messi, also known as General Chiwenga, is signed by MDC, we anticipate that what happened to Barcelona will also happen to ZANU-PF, with not only scarf sales going down, but also their votes going down to a position as shown. ZANU-PF's votes will decline from the 2.4 million to about 450,000 votes, whilst MDC will gain over 2 million votes in the first week of General Chiwenga's signing as shown. However, some player transfers are not that significant to cause changes for their teams. For example, Jonathan Moyo's transfer from ZANU-PF only caused ZANU to lose 5 voters only as shown. Xavier Kasukwere's transfer from ZANU caused ZANU to also lose 10 voters only. On the contrary, new signings to ZANU-PF, JP Jabun, only managed to gain ZANU-PF 1 vote from their usual voters. Tongai Matutu's signing to ZANU-PF up to now hasn't brought any new supporters or voters to ZANU as shown. Just by Messi signing to PSG, Michael Jordan has become over 6 million euros richer from his PSG endorsements. Also the same for us back home. Just by Chiwenga joining MDC, Chamisa will obviously also become over 6 million RTGS richer, using the official bank rate, of course. Oh, what a stark moment. And our weekly top 5 intrinsic values of a normal Zimbabwean citizen are as follows, with hustling or stealing being on first position, followed by corruption, as everyone is into it these days. Social media bitterness is on number 4 as shown, mainly caused by unemployed Zimbabwean youth and poverty, which is also on number 5. Our weekly top 5 fundamental risk indicators are as shown. On number 1, we have that Madzibaba from Marange who should rot in jail, followed by Madam Boss, who did not sympathize with the Marange death and has already rotten on social media. On number 3, Rocky was picked to play at the 2021 Heroes Gala concert, obviously because of Patati Patata, which endorsed the ED. ED also features on number 4 as he attended the Heroes Gala concert for the first time ever. Obviously because of patati patata which endorsed ED. Our last fundamental risk indicator is the Zambian election results turnout. Please MDC, do not try this at home. This has been the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange and economically we are stuck. And my name has been Sheikh Said, your financial analyst.
Not me, Bobo. You chief no not me. One me. That one me. You want me? I'm not doing me. One me. I think it was Zambia. Edgar Lunga now or HH. One me. Not me. Chamisa, one me, not me. Zuma guys, Naraposa, one me, not me.